First and foremost, it's great to get a win in our first game. That's I think, a really good team that we beat. A team that's going to have a chance to win their league. They're older, they're tough, they have a physicality about them, and they really, really made a lot of tough shots late in the shot clock, especially there in the second half. I'm proud of our guys because I thought overall it was a really good defensive performance, especially the last 30 minutes of the game, the last 10 minutes of the first half, and then obviously the whole second half. I thought we settled into the game defensively, made things difficult for them. That got us going a little bit offensively. We uncharacteristically had too many turnovers today, but really proud of these two guys. With how they played, the poise for the most part in which they played with. Really proud that we had two guys, Cam and Papa, both with double-figure rebounds. I thought we did a great job of dominating the glass. So really pleased with the victory. Obviously, we have work to do. We know that. We're excited about the work, but really pleased.
Both of you guys, obviously, but it just seemed like there was a lot of concerted effort to really get after it on defense, diving for loose balls, just a lot of things like that. How much was that an emphasis just going into this whole season?
I feel like that's how our team is. That's just who we are. That's the identity that we've worked on throughout the summer. We got a lot of guys that got a chip on their shoulder that really want to win. And we go out there, pick up 94. All you gotta do is play with intensity, man, and good things happen. So we went out there and we did that, and obviously good things happen.
Yeah, like you said, that's got to be our identity. We got to find ways to win, whether it's ugly, whether we got to get on loose balls. A win is a win. So.
Cam, just for you, your coach talks about you dominating on the glass. How do you think you and the guys overall really did in that aspect, just being as forceful as you were on the rebound?
I think we did a great job, especially Papa. He gave us 21 great minutes, 10 rebounds. He takes a lot of pressure. If he's rebounding, two people have to go to him. It just leaves me open for boards. So I feel like a lot of that was Papa.
The score was pretty close toward the end of the second half, but you ignited a 14-3 run. How big was that for the momentum in the second half?
It was huge. We needed that. The game was a little too close for our liking, but we stayed calm, we stayed poised. Just a little adversity. That's nothing that any of us ain't used to. So we went out there and we executed our game plan.
Brandin, they shot 33 three-pointers tonight. Just what kind of challenge was it guarding them along the perimeter, and how do you feel like you guys rose to the occasion?
We knew that they were going to come out and they were going to shoot a lot of threes. We knew that. I think overall, we did a solid job. Obviously, we got some things to clean up. But, I think overall we did a good job, keeping them off the line.
It seemed like both of the freshmen in the lineup, they kind of pressed a little bit early. How do you, now that you're a leader, you're one of the leaders of this team, how do you kind of, keep their head in it, I guess?
I just tell them it's cool, because I can relate to it. I know how it is whenever it's the first game and them lights is really on and the crowd's rocking a little bit. You start getting a little more tired, legs start burning, mouth start getting dry. So, I know how it gets. But, we got really good guys, and they're really poised for their age. And I think they did an amazing job, and they're going to continue to grow.
Cam, you played 35 minutes tonight. It's a lot of mileage right there in one game. How do you think you dealt with the large long amount of play time you had today?
Knock on wood, I feel like I'm in way better shape than last year. I don't think I could have played those 35 minutes and finished the game like I did. So, yeah, I feel like I'm in much better shape.
Good on the players? Thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys can go. All right, questions for Coach?
Jeff, it seemed like in the second or towards the end of the first half, you went with Papa and Cam together. What do you think that lineup did for you guys?
I thought they did well. I thought we rebounded well. I thought we defended well. We were able to get some baskets from offensive rebounds. We decided that it was good enough that we were going to start that way in the second half. I thought those guys played well together.
What do you think contributed to the turnovers? Because you said there was more than usual.
Yeah, we were sloppy. We weren't strong with the basketball. We were late at times with some decisions. I think it really comes down to just we weren't strong. And they're good. They play really hard, and they're physical. That's not anything we haven't seen because Providence was that, but I thought we didn't play with the necessary strength. And then at the end, I thought we made some tired turnovers. We have to be better in those situations.
It seemed like Noyes had a pretty impactful performance with the ball, without the ball. Just what did he bring off the bench tonight?
Yeah, well, he's done what he's done since he's been here with us, both exhibition games, and it kept tonight. He made some shots. We can put the basketball in his hands. We can run him off stuff. He's a good player. He's getting an opportunity to play, and he's taking advantage of it. I think he's starting to find his confidence again in himself as a player after really not playing last year.
Jeff, rebounding had been a conversation heading into the season. What led to what we saw tonight?
I thought our overall size, that probably is a big part of it. We're a little bit bigger. But I thought just the attention that we've tried to give to it in practice, and our guys understanding that that's something that has not been a strength, but we want it to be a strength, and understanding, we need to work at it. Them taking the work serious and understanding that, I think that's a big part. But certainly size played a little bit of a factor today as well.
You did a lot better first half versus the second half shooting the ball. So what did you see that you all did differently to have a positive effect?
Well, I thought the last maybe 8 minutes of the first half, we started making some shots. And then in the second half, I thought we shot 54% in the second half. So that's pretty good. 54 and 43 from three. We didn't take a lot, but, we did a good job there. I thought one of the biggest keys of the game, we knew that they were a team that averaged last year 33-point attempts a game. And in their exhibition against Akron, we saw the box score. I think they took 31. And so that was a point of emphasis. And I thought we did a pretty solid job there. They probably made 4 or 5 of them at the end of a shot clock on a loose ball, but we didn't get it. So I thought overall we did a pretty decent job there. The other area, again, looking at the box score against Akron, they got to the free throw line 30 times. So I thought we really did a good job of defending today. I think they only took 9 free throws. And so to be able to defend like that without fouling, I thought was huge.
Brandin had 18 points, shot 50% from the field, added 2 steals, but only 2 turnovers. How pleased were you with his performance and stepping up?
I was pleased. I thought since the second half of Pitt Youngstown, he's really done a good job. And in that game, where he was struggling in the first half, there were a couple of plays defensively that he made that kind of got him going. I like the fact that he was efficient today. He got to the line. Wish he would have passed that one at the end where, he got to travel, which was his second and final turnover. But we would like for Brandin, and we need him to be an efficient scorer for us.
The exhibitions as well as tonight, you guys have had to dig yourself out of an early hole. Have there been any commonalities against those 3 contests that have carried over into some slow starts?
Yeah, we have to play harder to start the game. Maybe, looking at what we're doing warm-up wise, I don't know. I'm in the back. But maybe we got to change something with that, because that was something we talked about for this game, with the fact that we have not gotten off the good starts in the 2 exhibition games. And we didn't do it again today. So that's something we have to continue to look at.
It looked like the 2 freshmen were pressing a little bit. I mean, is that all that uncommon for your debut?
Well, I was really proud of how Roman responded in the second half. He started, since he's been here, he got some great looks early in the game. He just missed some shots around the basket. And I thought he got really down on himself. And he didn't play the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the second half. And to come in and to make that forceful drive that he made, and I thought he did some really good things. I did think Amari was pressing. I thought, early in the game, every time he caught it, he was just trying to make something happen instead of just catching and seeing, and maybe it's a shot, maybe you move it, maybe you get off the basketball. But like Brandin said, as a freshman, you want to play well so bad. It's different because it's, a win and a loss column. But those guys are going to be good for us.
You guys used your challenge with about 9 minutes left in the game on a possession. Obviously, that's new to college basketball. Just How was the real-time process there? How much are you looking at the iPads, the conversation?
Yeah, looking at the iPads, we have a couple guys on our staff that's their responsibility. I was a little bit confused because one official was telling me it was not a challengeable play, and I knew that it was because it was an out of bounds play. That's a point of emphasis. So the refs got together for them to talk because initially he kept saying it's not a challengeable play. You can't challenge it. So I was going to let it go. Then the other official, I think, saw it and came over, and then they told me that it is a play that you can challenge. Obviously, we felt good about it with what we saw on the iPads, and fortunately, it worked out for us.
You had a 5 out there in the second half, and it was 3 new guys. It was Indricitis, Amari, and Roman with Brandin and Papa. How did you view those new guys work together, and how did you view that Brandin and Papa led those new guys?
Yeah, well, I thought those guys did a good job. It's something we're used to now. I mean, really the only guys that played any minutes for us last year on this team were Brandin, Cam, and Papa a little bit. And so we're going to have a lot of lineups out there with new guys, just like most of the teams in college basketball are. Again, we're still trying to find ourselves, trying to figure out, lineups together and, who works well together. This game presented some challenges and I thought our guys did a really good job because late, like the last 4 minutes of the second half, 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, they went without a big, and they really had 5 guards out there. But we feel good about Cam switching out. We feel good for the most part about Papa switching out. Those guys have shown that they can sit down and guard, guys on the perimeter. But we're used to it by now.